This is Fireman Ed, and you're listening to Jets Commute, Monday through Friday from 8 to 10 a.m. Jet fans, let's rock MetLife Stadium this year. J-E-T-S, Jets, Jets, Jets. Go Jets! This is Fireman Ed, and you're listening to Jets Commute, Monday through Friday from 8 to 10 a.m. Jet fans, let's rock MetLife Stadium this year. J-E-T-S, Jets, Jets, Jets. Go Jets! This is Fireman Ed, and you're listening to Jets Commute, Monday through Friday from 8 to 10 a.m. Jet fans, let's rock MetLife Stadium this year. J-E-T-S, Jets, Jets, Jets. Go Jets! This is Fireman Ed, and you're listening to Jets Commute, Monday through Friday from 8 to 10 a.m. Jet fans, let's rock MetLife Stadium this year. J-E-T-S, Jets, Jets, Jets. Go Jets! This is Fireman Ed, and you're listening to Jets Commute, Monday through Friday from 8 to 10 a.m. Jet fans, let's rock MetLife Stadium this year. J-E-T-S, Jets, Jets, Jets. Go Jets!
Preach gospel this morning. Did everyone hear this? Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I actually,
You don't
I
need to
He
get rid of
dropped the
actually,
Garrett
mic. 'Cause
Wilson to have
uh,
consistency. And I'm not reducing what he said, but there are some youth that are on this roster that the first move shouldn't be replaced. Now, if the new coach and if it's the right hire wants to move on in GM, so be it. I'm all about the coach and GM right now.
Yeah, I can't.
Buck, he's not
I
gonna.
can't move on,
Buck,
Gene.
but hey,
I'm
Buck,
sorry.
knowing that he doesn't want to be there, why would you try to keep him instead of get rid of him now?
June, you just drawn a conclusion. Yeah, losing sucks, and this team is sucks. So like, no one wants to be a part of that. But show this guy a little bit of winning. Show this guy a little bit of money. Dude, you're seeing this around the league. Look at Pittsburgh's record
You're
and look at Pickens. He is
you're
never stopping
you're not.
complaining. You've brought up Malik Neighbors. He's not even into his first
Yes,
season, and he's like,
you're right.
"Get me the f out of here."
Right,
You can't
right.
just
Not
listen
it's
to
not
every
good.
wide receiver talk. It's not going to work.
Yes, good
June,
morning,
I'm
brother.
alone on this one. I already know I'm alone on this one.
Nah,
I'm all.
Uh, you-
Oh, I'm sorry. Is that Terrence?
you-
no, I'm with
no,
June, man. But I mean, a little bit. I got nuance. Number one, the Jets have never extended anybody after their third year. Why would you do
mm,
that when you control him for another 2 years, and also you could also franchise him after that. But number two, number two. The bottom line is you need to draft a franchise quarterback. It's what's been killing this franchise, since I've been watching them. And
mhm.
that's where I agree with June that if like, do I want to pay Garrett Wilson Waddle money, 28 million a year, when I personally, not you guys, I'm not personally convinced that he's a number one. I think he's a 1A. I think he
Let me
needs somebody like Adams from 2 or 3 years ago on the other side of him to be like he needs a that's my opinion. But I do understand what you're saying, Ground and Punt, about the fact that if you get a new quarterback in, like, and there's nobody to throw to, isn't that the Sam Darnold problem, and kind of like the beginning, like the first year of Zach Wilson's problem? But to me, I kind of agree with Joe Jett. You get all the cap out of the way next year. It's going to hurt some people's feelings because, somehow they think that this is still a good team. It just needs good coaching. But to me, you got to take a step back to build the right way. I don't want to win for 1 year and then
yes,
rebuild in 2026.
yes,
For me, that also means that, and I also agree with Joe Jett that I'm not sure these two, first of all, the Giants and the Raiders, unless they do something totally wrong and start winning a couple of games, they're going to take Sanders and Ward. And there isn't another
hmm
quarterback that's worthy of a high top 10 first round pick. And if they are, it'll be typical Jets that we reach and take them. I mean, maybe you move up in the second round to get somebody late in the first for the 5 year contract, maybe. But to me, no. And that's where you accumulate picks just like Douglas did to get that 2022 class. You accumulate picks so that way you can hopefully you hope that in 2026 it's a rich quarterback draft where you can maneuver from wherever you are after 2025 and pick the guy that you want in the top five somewhere. That would be my thing, but you know what? I'm not a GM, so we'll see what they do. I would worry about them coming in fresh and in 3 months deciding that we're going to pick a quarterback like in the top 10. I actually think it would be better for them to wait a year, get their bearings, figure out what's wrong with this team, and then basically get their scouting team in place and then pick a quarterback in 2026. But I do think they need to draft somebody in the second, third, or fourth round that could fill out the
Mm-hmm.
quarterback room between
Mm-hmm.
what we got last year and also Tyrod Taylor to me is somebody that until he gets hurt somehow in week 8 or something like that should be starting next year and at least is a halfway decent starting quarterback or at least a low end starting quarterback, and then you figure out from there, which one of those other two quarterbacks like finishes out the season.
Yeah, but if
Here's
you
the thing
do,
about that,
wait,
Wilson.
wait 1 sec, Buckeye. I'm sorry. But if you do that, Terrence, and then you draft a quarterback in 26, now it's 2 years. If it's a rebuild,
Right.
yeah, but you're what are you doing next year? Like
What do you mean?
you're just putting a team out there, and now this is going to take
Yeah.
4 years.
Yeah,
May
well,
take
I'm sorry,
longer.
it's going to hurt the space, but yeah, that's how people rebuild.
No, what do you mean it's going to hurt the space?
Well, I'm just saying, I think a lot of people, maybe not just the space, but I think there's a lot of people over here who get butt hurt because their buddies on other opposing teams are going to bust their chops about another losing season and 14 years in a row. But if we do this right, it doesn't mean that we can't be competitive next year if we get the right coach. But to me, if you get just I don't even know, like Buckeye said, I don't even know who the GM and the coach is. But to me, if it's a new head coach, they're not basically looking to win next year. They're looking to build.
Evaluate, right, and evaluate, see what they need and what they need to get rid of.
How are you gonna? But if you get rid of two number ones, is not moving you up in the draft to get a top quarterback in 26. The only way this is ever going to happen for us now, because of the situation we're in, we're going to have to get lucky in the lower rounds and nail that quarterback, because we ain't getting it with a number one pick in the first round. It's not going to happen.
Wait. Hold on,
Well, yeah,
Heck.
I
We
agree.
we
That's why
can't
we
miss
take
Chris.
somebody
Chris.
this year,
Chris.
but then we build for 2026.
But you're also opening up.
Chris.
You're
Heck.
getting rid of your star players. You Let's say we take a mid round guy. He looks like he's got
Heck, can you hear
potential.
me?
But now he has no wide receivers. Now we put
I
him
can
the
hear you,
Sam
Gene.
Darnold guarantee.
You
But
can hear
one
me?
other thing.
Hector,
Look at Pittsburgh. Yeah,
Chris is he's got his hand up. I don't think you can hear June.
I'm
Can you
sorry.
drop down and come back up?
Sure.
Chris, what's going on, brother?
Good morning, y'all good?
Yeah, we good. We good. What's good with you, brother?
Man, I'm just chilling. I'm just chilling. I'm just listening. I'm just trying to figure out what's on the menu today. Good morning. Happy Friday to everybody in the Jets Commute. Wherever you are, wherever you're traveling, I hope you have a wonderful Friday. And I hope it's start to a great weekend for you. That's what happens when you turn the cheek. You get the gist? I don't
That
turn
sound
the
like you. Like,
I don't turn the other cheek over here. For those of you who would like, go for it. So what's up? Who's on the docket today?
No,
Oh,
the
oh,
June June's trying to get rid of Garrett.
by the way, by the
No.
by the way, Petey, part of that was for you. I think you need to get a base and win a Halloween prize next year. Yeah,
All
yeah,
right.
and
Chris, I don't know if you heard the new Dre Snoop album, but they have a song called "Thank You for Letting Me Be Myself." Check that song out. All right.
oh, I will. All right. Put y'all back on course, or you can get me back on course. Garrett Wilson is the subject, right?
Yes.
What's the question?
Well. I mean, me and you done went. Me and you done. We done said it for the past 2 weeks, so you already know what it is. It's the same thing. He's not staying, so trade that while you can get something for him. And the question is, if after this season he's offered an extension and he turns it down, is that the writing on the wall that he won't be back and just trade him?
Well, yeah. I mean, that would be concerning, no doubt. But I don't know, man. I don't feel like getting mad about this today. I really don't, because this is
You know,
it's not
I
funny,
love
man.
it.
This is. I mean, this is.
Wait. Speaking of getting mad, CB, good morning, brother. How you doing?
Good morning. Good morning. Hope everybody's having a good Friday. I just came up to say fuck you, June. That's all. Everybody have a good day.
Woo!
Damn.
Wow.
CV Rogers to the Niners. Is it looking a little more clear right now?
It ain't happening, Buckeye. It
It's
ain't
gonna
happening. I hate
happen.
to
You
break it
watch.
to you.
Purdy put up. What do you put
What,
up like
this year or next year?
next, bro?
No,
They
next
have to
year.
pay Purdy. They have a problem, man. Brock is regressed big time.
Big time.
He
So,
has
we
regressed.
just ignore the fact that Ayuk is hurt, that all he has is Kittle, and Debo can't catch a damn slant route. Like
No.
we
Debo,
ignore
you
all
paid
that.
$20 million, right? You drafted a first round wide receiver. He happened to get shot in the chest, but he's on the field right now. Like, no, we're not going to
Mm.
remove the weapons that Brock was built on and then blame that Brock, like, he,
Buckeye, you gotta admit though, that's a crazy thing to say. He's on the field, but he got shot.
it was incredible. It was incredible. But no, we're not removing what Brock was built on. And I was a Brock advocate. I just don't know how you pay him right now. He looks bad. He's 9-9 in his last
But again,
18
this
games.
conversation, you're having this conversation based off of this year. Look at his entire body of work.
But it's pay time. It's pay time.
Yeah,
We
but
we
Yeah.
again,
we
he's
set
gonna
we
get
have
paid
we
based
have
off
we
he's
second
produced
guessed a
stuff. That's
fan
the
base
thing.
paying Quinn and Williams. This is now Brock Purdy about to ask for 50 million.
I wouldn't do it.
Me either.
Yeah. I mean, they could franchise
Yeah,
Purdy for a year.
I don't see how you guys can't, honestly. The dude, when the dude has stuff around him, he wins. Like point blank period. I don't care how he gets it done. The dude wins.
But why does he have stuff around him? Because he was on a Mr. Irrelevant contract. So now you pay him 50 million. How are you going to keep a team around him like that?
You can't.
That's all I'm
Sorry,
saying is
sorry. I was sending a text. You absolutely can. You just have to draft well, and hopefully your first round draft pick doesn't get shot every year.
Args, go ahead.
we have half the team's former first round picks on our team right now.
Arg,
Morning, Petey.
what,
Morning, everybody.
what's up, bro?
Oh man, it's another glorious day in Jets Tankville. It really is.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful Friday. I am very concerned though that they are going to beat the Jaguars on Sunday. I'm very concerned.
Yeah.
Uh,
I think they're going to win by more
Look, hey,
than
look.
more than
I don't know
seven.
about that. Mac and cheese is 5-0 against the Jets.
mac and cheese. What's
Yeah.
going on, June? Now,
What's
listen,
going on, man? Mac and cheese.
listen. I'm just I've never wanted a Jet season to end sooner. Can we just call it? Can we just call it and forfeit our next few games? Can we petition
Hogs,
Goodell?
Hogs. I wasn't even. Listen, I'll be honest. I wasn't even going to open today, and I spoke to June. I asked him to host. It's brutal, bro.
It's brutal, man. It's absolutely brutal. It really is. It really is. I mean, guys, I've said this repeatedly on this space, and I'll continue to say it. This thing has to be. You gotta blow this thing up. You gotta. They, we
Yes,
can't. We
sir.
can't. We can't band aid this. And I gotta tell you, I've seen some last 2 days. I've seen some different reports here and there about how the Jets are in love with Aaron Glenn and they're in love with some of these prospects already.
Jeez, that's tough.
We don't have a GM in place yet. We don't have a head coach in place yet.
Rick Johnson. Who you
I,
kidding?
it, I mean, Petey, if it is true that an 18-year-old is helping influence the decisions of this team, we are fucked. And I'm sorry for all the Virgineers out there. I have to say it. We're fucked. This is a shit show.
Let's go to Clay Meek Holmes holding his hand up.
Ugh.
Good morning, guys. P, June, Buckeye, CB. What's good?
So,
What's up, Meek?
I want
What's going on, brother?
well, one, congratulate you on the Clay Holmes signing. That's big time. That's big time right there. That's my guy.
Vitance is too.
Nah, he's good, man. PD, you'll see. PD, you'll like him. Trust me. You'll be texting me. He'll be like, "You were right. You were right." Buckeye's wrong again. Um, but I wanted to touch on Purdy, what you guys were talking about. So, is it time to pay him? Yes, absolutely. He made it to the Super Bowl. Would have made it twice. Here's the thing we're realizing now: quarterbacks need things around them, right? Most of them, right? I'd say 99% of them need things built around them. I think. I'm hoping maybe this will open some eyes to maybe how good Dak actually is. Because, I mean, last year Dak didn't have half the weapons that he has now after the injuries, and he looks terrible. But if you after the season last year, a lot of people screamed at me that Purdy was top five, top seven. I think we overhype these quarterbacks a little bit. They need an O line, a running game, and wide receiver to succeed. There's only like two guys that can do it without it.
So Meek, and again, you're not wrong in that people need things around them. Kittle, go look at statistically. He may be having the best tight end year in football.
I
He
love Kittle. I love Debo.
if you look at his production versus catches, it's better than Bowers what he's doing this year. They paid Debo 20 something million. That was what they paid for. That's what they wanted. They have him. They've had him most of the year, and they
Oh,
have over targeted that guy.
Buckeye. I think Purdy's weapons this year are better than Dak's weapons last year as a team.
That's all I'm saying. And the numbers that Purdy's been putting up are bad. They're bad.
They're horrible. I mean,
They're,
let's be honest. The guy throws a duck.
Yep.
if you look at you look at his numbers versus Rogers' numbers this year, who's had a better year?
Yeah, but Buckeye, you want me to get into the Roger stuff, man?
No, we're keeping it what you just said. So are you paying Purdy? What are you doing? It's pay time.
Yeah,
What are you doing with him?
yeah. He made it to the Super Bowl twice. I think we need to realize there's like one or two guys that can do it without everything around them.
So you think he was the reason they got to the Super Bowl twice?
He helped, yeah.
Okay. All right.
Well,
He
I
ain't too
mean,
good without McCaffrey.
yeah, but I mean, what quarterback wins by themselves? I mean, just let me know.
It doesn't matter with Mahomes. Whoever comes in, he makes them better.
But
But
you're
Mahomes
acting
don't play
like he's been
shit.
by himself. The
But
roster
hold
that's
on.
still in San Francisco.
But hold
Is
on.
Fred Warner still on a football field?
Long suffering. Hold on. Mahomes has sucked this year.
Oh God, I'll take him in
I
two
get
seconds.
that. I get that. But I mean, he
But
hasn't been
Meek, he
good.
sucks until it's time to win a game, and that's what
I
he
get
does.
it. I get it. I agree. I agree. But he he also is the best coach in football. So does Purdy, though.
So does
One of them.
so does Tomlin. No,
I don't
and
like
by the way,
Tomlin.
I think unfortunately, the microwave opinions in football. I think Shanahan is taking a hit this year. Like that's even the Niners fans.
I think that's overhyped, Buckeye.
I agree. I do agree. But I think he got outcoached yesterday again.
Really, if Debo just catches that ball, they will. Someone's got a lot of bad noise.
I'll give you our number one pick for Shanahan.
But Buckeye, if Debo catches that ball, they win.
I hear you, man. And again, I'm not gonna advocate that Shanahan is anything other than a terrific offensive mind and a pretty damn good head coach. It's just his shine is coming off this year. It's been getting
Yeah,
called
he's
out
just
that
it's just
creativity on offense is getting
it's
stale.
just hard to find five guys better than him, Buckeye.
I don't disagree. I don't disagree. They're all in the same. The
I
AFC
get
has got them all.
Buckeye. I
Yeah,
get what you're saying. They're now losing. So as great as Shanahan is, the the losing is clouding the eyes of people in the league, saying, "Oh, he's not that anymore."
That's the
But
way
he's a
this
great
works.
coach.
But remember,
Buckeye, were you
Bill.
sad?
I don't think there was a worse example than Belichick, who had, in my opinion, still the best head coach ever. His
True.
last year, it was reduced down to he couldn't do things without Tom Brady. That's what his legacy somehow nasty
True.
became.
Yep.
But don't forget, guys, the last year Salah was with them. They were 8-8, I think, too. That's because Bosa got hurt. There were a lot of injuries, so it's not the first time that San Francisco, you know, took a step back for a year. But if they make a rash move and get rid of him because of one bad season, that's a mistake. Shanahan.
Dom, good morning.
Good morning, boys. Hey, good conversation. Listen, about Purdy and paying Purdy, I get it. I know that Meek said he would pay him, and he went. There's somebody in the background. I can't hear.
I
Um,
think it's Hector.
I,
No, it's
I,
not
I
me.
guess,
Your mic's on, so
yeah. Whoever's long sufferer is, that's where it's
Yeah.
coming from. Um, but it is, and I get what Meek is saying. He's been in the Super Bowl twice, so on and so forth. But that man, you got to take a good, a hard look because this team, the reality is that the window may be closing. They got a lot of veteran guys. They were able to put a lot of high end, high salary veteran players on this roster because they were working off that Purdy thing. Some of this might be coming to an end, and you might be on the precipice of the window closing, right? With this group of characters. I'm talking McCaffrey, I'm talking Kittle, I'm talking Debo, and everyone on the defense. Um, so to pay him whatever, and I don't know what Purdy's going to cost. I'm going to guess here. Whatever Dak, just for hypothetical, just give him whatever Dak got. What was that, 45 million a year? Like, that's a tough that's a conversation. I don't know if it's an automatic, hey, his salary's up, all right, we're gonna pay him and keep him here for 5 years. It is a conversation. What's the better solution? Is there another solution? I don't know. I'm just saying I don't know if that's as automatic as many thought it was early in the season with Purdy.
that's fair, Dom.
And not for nothing, Dak got 60.
Yeah,
Also,
whatever, like I said, whatever it
would you
was.
prefer somebody
And
like
Dom, for the
Baker
record,
making
I
Would
$33
would
was
you
million?
would
a
you take
Purdy
would you take
advocate.
Purdy
I,
on the
I, I
Jets?
was the one that said he's better than Jalen Hurts coming into this year. So
Yes.
I'm just doing
Would you take
I'm doing
Purdy
a
on the
moonwalk on
Jets?
this one.
He still is Buckeye. Don't worry.
It could be. I'm not fully bought in on Jalen Hurts, but for some reason you feel better paying Hurts than you are Purdy. That's just I
His
think
core is
Dom just
younger. That's
summarized this
all.
thing well. They've had a really ridiculous roster because they didn't have to pay the quarterback. And now, unfortunately, as this roster's aging and getting to the closer to the end of the window, man, you're seeing Purdy's flaws. There's a flaw here, and I don't know if it's course correctable. And it ain't coaching because he's got the best, as good as offensive coaching as he can get.
Yeah, and listen, in fairness, I mean, and I'm sure everyone touched on it before, like, and I'm not giving them an excuse, but its reality is that San Francisco has dealt with a bevy of injuries, up and down, both sides of the ball. Fine, that's listen. Them's are the breaks. Everyone gets hit with the injury bug once in a while, right? So them's are the breaks, man. But yeah, listen. I mean, you see how they restructured Javon Hargrave yesterday. That's just so that they could cut him, designate him post 6-1 next year. That was talked about very, often. I doubt we're going to see, Debo back in 49ers gear next year. So that process of, out with the old, these guys that were brought in for this window to win championships were brought in at their peak, at their precipice, and now are going to be too costly to keep. You're going to see some of that happen with San Francisco this year. Now, again, I love Shanahan. I think Shanahan's great, and I'm sure that they're not going to go to uh, you know they're not going to go to the depths that the Jets go to, 3-14 or whatnot. But listen, maybe they put it together. Maybe they still make playoff runs, next year. But I just think that the decision to pay Purdy isn't as easy as we thought it was in
I
August.
agree, Dom. Dom, if they trade Debo, by the way, I just looked it up. Good combo. Uh, 31 million, even if they pre-June 1st them, that they have to eat. There's no saving at all, which is wild. Is anybody going to want to take Debo for a second or a
Somebody
third?
will,
Yeah.
absolutely,
All right.
absolutely. Somebody will, because it's gonna come at such a ridiculously low cost.
Yeah.
You're gonna have a lot of teams that are flush with cap space next year.
Right.
You know,
Well,
look at
Dom,
Cincinnati. Look at Cincinnati's cap space next year. They're gonna have to replace T. Higgins. Maybe
correct.
they make a trade and have him for a year.
But why
And it
wouldn't they
only
just
costs them a
pay?
fifth
Yeah, but why wouldn't they just pay T. Higgins, Dom?
because they're only gonna have him for a year,
I get
and then
it.
they can move on from him.
But what about if they just franchise Higgins?
They just did.
You can again, right? It's a 20% raise.
Yeah.
I'm just
He's a
saying. And
patriot,
Dom,
Petey.
I've
Pete,
yeah.
hang on. You're taking things way too literally, dude. I'm using an example.
No, I'm not.
Maybe it's New England.
Go ahead.
Maybe it's New England who has $150 million in cap
Well, that
space,
makes
and they say,
sense.
"Yeah, we'll give you a fifth round pick, and we'll take Debo. He can help groom our young guys." Or maybe it's this team who's flush with cap space. The Vikings come free of a lot of cap space. Maybe they want to give another weapon to Justin Jefferson.
Hmm.
It's somebody's going to take Debo off their hands, and because the price is going to be right,
Right.
just like when Cleveland traded for Amani Cooper, a
Right.
fifth round pick. Are you kidding me? For Amani Cooper, who was one of the best, yeah, they had to sign him. But that's what you were dealing with.
Correct. Dom, real quick, because I got to go in somewhere for a second. I've been thinking about what you said. And if the Jets don't bring Adams back, which I know you don't want them to, I do. But if they don't,
No, no, no. Hang on. Let's get that right. It's not that I don't want Adams back. Is that if you move on from Rodgers, I want to turn the page completely, and I want to take everything
Mhm.
next year, just
All right,
clean slate it. That's what I want.
fair enough. Sorry. So sorry for misquoting. So if they do move on from Adams, they save almost 30 million. So to say that the Jets don't have money next year, they'll have over 60 something million plus Lazard set. They'll have 70 million in cap space. So they do have money. And you never said they didn't have money, by the way. I'm just saying, like, they could fix and plug holes easily and
Yeah,
temporary.
they'll have that. They'll have that. But if you cut bait with everyone and take all the hit next year, you'll also have 84 million in dead cap. So you know, six of one, half dozen of another. You'll have some money to spend and plug holes, but you still will have to, take your medicine on dead cap, which is doable. Listen, Buffalo did it this year with Steph Diggs. The Denver's been doing it for 2 years with um, whatever the quarterback is. I can't think of his name. Russell Wilson. It's not outlandish. It can be done. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see whoever's gonna brought in to be the GM. That's really probably the biggest decision that they're gonna have to make is how to handle Rodgers, and if you move on, how to handle the cap for Rodgers.
Hey, Dom, I don't know if you caught what I said in the beginning. What I said was, if the Jets offer Wilson and an extension after this year, and he turns it down, is that a clear cut sign that basically you need to trade him because he's not coming back?
No,
Okay.
it is not. You still
All
have
right.
you still have control of him for 3 years. I'm with you. That would be my first priority this year is to kind of show, wave that, show him how important and how valuable he is and take care of him. And if he listen, there's as good of a chance that he does not want to sign here long term as there is that we get him to sign long term. Jets fans need to come to grips with that. That there's a possibility that he might not sign a second contract here. But because you offer him an extension and he don't take it, you don't have to dump him right away. Why would you have to do that? You have him under contract for 2 more years, and then you can franchise him. So you have him for 3 more years under decent money.
June, I see how you're trying to lead the witness with your questions. Next time you do that, you're in contempt. The next time you do that, man.
I don't I don't
I'm
I don't
sorry.
get it.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry, Your Honor. I'm sorry, Your Honor. Look. What I was saying was this. All right. And me and Chris spoke on this. I got to give props to Chris because we've been talking about this for the last 2 weeks. My thing is, you don't want this to get ugly. With the Jets as an organization, all you got is ugly narratives about meddling owners. It's just
What
whole
do you, what, do you- wait,
dysfunction and
hang on,
everything
June.
else.
Explain that to me. What don't you want to get ugly? What
As
what?
far as you don't want Garrett Wilson to turn around and say trade me, get me out of here, and everything like that.
But he may.
That's what I
He
mean
may
by get like
already. I mean, but
right.
but then you're setting a
So that's
precedent,
what I'm
June.
saying.
June. Then you're setting a precedent. Let's walk this backwards here. Then you're setting a
All right, talk
precedent.
to me.
You're setting a precedent is that if you ever want to get if you don't ever like anything that the Jets do, just just say something like that, and you're going to get traded. If you want out of the Jets, just don't tell them you're not going to sign, or tell them you're only here for the length of your contract, and they'll trade you. You know what I mean? That it doesn't work like that. It can't. It shouldn't work like that.
June,
Now
I
you want
think
to talk
June, I
about
think
trading
Jamar.
Garrett Wilson?
June, I think Jamar Chase is going to do that in
Yeah.
Cincy. Would you trade him preemptively? Would you get rid of Jamar Chase in Cincy? Oh,
You
come
might
on,
have
bro.
to.
If you're going to preemptively move
Come
every
on,
time wide
Jesus
receivers
Yeah,
do,
Christ!
wait,
every
wait,
time
wait,
wide
wait,
receivers
wait,
do
wait, wait,
diva
wait,
things,
wait.
you'd be
Wait,
trading
no, no,
everyone,
no, no,
bro.
no. But you see, you have to understand this. This is a new era. This is completely new. This is the wide receivers and players force themselves out of organizations every day. B, they do
That's
it every
fine, but
day. Sometimes you get ugly,
but if it
sometimes you
comes to
don't.
that, June, like Jamal Adams did, and you got a whole, you don't have to be preemptive about it. And again, it doesn't come with like because he wants out. It does. It's not that easy. You're going to see Pickens do this in Pittsburgh. You're probably going to see this Garrett do this here in New York. This is a thing, man.
Yeah,
When it's Puka's turn, maybe
yeah.
he'll do it. Like it's a thing.
It
I don't know.
happens more than it happens all the time. These hold-ins, these holdouts, and shit like that. Like it's all negotiating ploy. But the reality is, in fairness, June, I kind of get what you're saying. I just think you're probably, 3 steps ahead of where you need to be. There's a possibility. People need to take their green glasses off. There's a possibility that
Yeah,
Garrett Wilson does not sign a second
yeah.
contract here,
Hey,
whether
hey,
we
hey,
want him to or not.
Dom, that's all I was saying. Is for look. chances are he might not do this,
But I
guys.
still,
That's it.
but saying that, I still don't trade him going into year 4. I mean, that's crazy. You own him. You own his ass for 3 years, right? He could sit out. He could hold out. That's on him. That contract told. If he doesn't show up, he's only going to hurt himself that way. But I mean, you can't just give the athlete you can't give them all the power. The team has to hold some power.
June would already traded him.
Trey, jump in.
Jones Gardner, what's up?
I don't think you can hear anything.
Yo, just tell homeboy who his quarterback is.
Yeah, and we get right back to that, Dom. Dom, that's the question right there.
And bump that. Why don't you tell me who the GM is? Bump that. Tell me who the head coach is. So, and
What does
again,
bump that mean? I don't get it.
it means forget that.
Oh,
Or let's put that to the side before we even get to quarterback. Okay. Let me say it in proper English. Let's table the quarterback conversation. Let's table the head coach
all
conversation. Let's. I mean, look again. Everybody's got an opinion. I hope I'm wrong for you. Okay. That possibility looks a hell of a lot more like a probability.
Yes, it does.